Okay, today we're taking the notes out of the Glencoe Course 3, Volume 1. We are in Chapter 2, Lesson 1, which starts on page 121. Let's go ahead and get our heading on there. Chapter 2, Lesson 2, Solving Two-Step Equations. We only have one vocab term we need to talk about. Oh, that's a lie. We have two. Properties. And a property is a statement that is true for any number. What's an example of a property? Well, we know about the commutative property. We've been learning about that since at least 5th grade. And we've proven that time and time again. Just using a basic example, 2 times 5 is the same as 5 times 2. The order in which I multiply doesn't matter. It's not going to change the answer to the question or the product of the two factors. The other term is two-step equation. It is exactly what it sounds like because it takes 2 steps to solve it. Contains 2 operations. And those 2 operations will be subtraction or addition and multiplication or division. Okay, so it's going to be one of these, it's going to be one of these. And remember that we want to use opposite operations when we're solving these equations. Example 1 is 2x plus 3 equals 7. When you solve equations, you want to work in the opposite order in which you would evaluate an expression. So we follow PEMDAS, right? Parentheses, exponents. Well, multiplication, division come before addition and subtraction. When we're undoing them, we undo them in the opposite order. So the first thing that I want to do or undo here is plus 3. Well, the opposite of plus 3 is minus 3. That's the subtraction property of equality. Plus 3 minus 3 eliminate each other, leaving me with 2x equal to, follow your integer rules, 7 minus 3 is positive 4. Now I have 2 times what number, or 2x equals 4. That's a multiplication problem. The opposite of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. The multiplication property of equality, or division property of equality, I'm sorry. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Remember, I don't have to write 1x. I can just write x. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So what did we do here? We subtracted the constant. And then we divided by the coefficient for this problem. My solution is x equals 2. I'm going to do B. 5 plus 2n equals negative 1. Remember, I want to undo the constant first, or whatever the addition or subtraction is. Well, this 5 doesn't have a symbol in front of it, so I can assume that it's negative. Or positive, I'm sorry. So the opposite of positive 5 would be a minus 5. Subtract 5 from both sides of the equation. 5 and 5 eliminate each other. Bring the 2n drops down. Negative 1 minus 5 more is negative 6. I'm going to divide by my coefficient of 2 here. Cancels out. or it turns into a 1, which we don't rewrite. N equals -6 divided by 2 is -3. Okay, go ahead, pause the video, do A, and then come back for the answer. All right, for A, you should have gotten 6. If you got something else, I want you to highlight it and ask about it tomorrow. Turning the page here. Start using fractions, start using a little bit of negatives. Example 2. 25 equals 1/4 n minus 3. First thing I'm going to do is undo that constant. Well, -3, the opposite would be +3. That's that addition property. So +3 onto both sides. I end up with 28 equals 1/4 n. So this is technically a multiplication problem. I need to use division to solve it. In order to divide fractions, I multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1/4 is 4/1. On to both sides of the equation. Okay, make sure to keep my numerators lined up in case there's cross-canceling to happen here. In this case, there isn't. I get n equal to 4 times 28, which is 112. Okay, this is definitely going to be one that you're going to want to check in your calculator. So how do we check our solutions? Go back to the original equation always. 25 equals 1/4 times whatever you got for your solution minus 3. Okay, this entire right side of the equation I'm going to enter into my calculator. Exactly the way that I have it written. I get 25 when I type this in. So I know that 25 matches 25. I'm in good shape. I checked it. Okay, C. -1 equals 1/2 A plus 9. Subtract 9. I'm treating this like an integer. I've got a -1 and a -9. That's -10 equals half of some number, I don't know. Multiply by whatever the reciprocal of the coefficient is. Cancel, 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 cancel. I get A. And 2 times -10 is -20. Go back and check in your calculator. Half times -20 plus 9. Well, half of 20 is -10. -10 plus 9 is -1, which is what I had up here, started out with. I'm in good shape. All right, you go ahead and do D. Pause the video, come back, check your answer. Okay, the answer to D is 30. So if you got something different, I want you to go ahead and circle it. We'll go over it tomorrow in class. On to example 3. Six minus 3x equals 21. Same steps, okay? We're just working with negatives, we're working with fractions here. Still undoing the constant first. Constant here is 6, so I'm subtracting 6 from both sides of the equation. I get -3x. So see how that was a minus? That comes down as a negative when I bring down that 3x. 21 minus 6 is 15. Dividing by the coefficient of -3 here. -3 turn into 1, and 15 divided by -3 is -5. Go back, check this in your calculator. 6 minus -5. Oops. Times 3. Sorry, I flipped those, but you should, multiplication property, still get the same thing, okay? And make sure that you get -21. Looking to get 21 here, whatever the answer was, right? So 6 minus -5 times 3, I get 21. So it checks out. I did it right. All right, E. 10 minus 2/3 P equals 52. Same steps. Undo the constant first. That's -10. I get -2/3 P equals 42. Multiply by the reciprocal, -3/2 now. Cancel, 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 cancel. I have P. All right, now 42 and 2 I can cross cancel. All right, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 42 divided by 2 is 21. And now 21 times 3, -3, is a -63. Go back to the original equation. 10 minus 2/3 parentheses -63. Okay, hit enter. You should get 52. We get 52. It checks out, right? If you type it in exactly like that, you should get the same thing. All right, you guys do F and G. Pause the video, do F and G, come back for your answers. Circle them if they're wrong. Okay, the answer to F is 7, and the x equals 7, right? And the solution to G is n equals 48. If you got them wrong, circle them. We're going to go over them tomorrow. All right, for the rest of the assignment, guided practice, you're going to do, which is textbook page 124. You're doing 1 through 4. You are submitting your solutions and a picture of your work via attachment and a Google document on Google Classroom. We will grade them, go over them tomorrow before I let you loose on the rest of your assignment. See you tomorrow.